Good morning. I got up super early and I was going through a bunch of books. I'm still in my pajamas. And I found this book, All Those Secrets of the World. I've never read it. I'm going to read it right now. I'm packing up to move, and maybe I'll just get rid of this book then after we read it. My cousin Michael was 5 and I was 4 when my father went off to war. We were allowed to go down to the docks to see the big ship sail off. Daddy gave me 100 butterfly kisses and whirled me around and around. Then he hugged everyone once and Mama twice before going on board. Very pretty pictures. Hundreds of grown-ups crowded around, waving handkerchiefs and crying. You can see how big that ship is. All the people there saying goodbye to the men as they went off to war. I got to hold a little flag. I waved it so hard the stick broke in two. Mama tucked the flag into my pocket and warned me not to fuss. From somewhere on the ship, Daddy threw more kisses, at least that's what Grandma said. But even from my perch on Grandpa's shoulders, I couldn't find him. There was a band playing, over there, with tuba making oompa, oompa sounds. Mama sang along. Slowly the ship moved away, and the dock seemed to shake. Dirty waves slapped the posts. Grandpa bought us ice cream cones, chocolate with jimmies. Jimmies are little sprinkles. And Grandma used her handkerchief to wipe our mouths and hands. Michael got lost in the crowd. We had to get a policeman to find him. Oh, that sounds scary. But everyone had a good time, except Mama, who cried all the way home, and my brother Stevie, who slept through it all. So how many kids does this mom have? 1, 2, 3. The next morning, Mama didn't get up to make me breakfast. And Grandma said, "Shh, let her sleep." So Michael and I went down to the long beach that ran from Kecoughtan Road all the way to Newport News, where the waves lapped black and greasy onto the graying sand. We'd been warned not to swim in the Chesapeake because it was so dirty with oil. But Michael said to take off our shoes and socks. Wading wasn't swimming, he said. They'd never know, he said. The water was cold, and we walked hand in hand. Sometime remind me of when I said wading isn't swimming. And it was not a good thing. You can ask me about it, or your mom if she remembers. Look, I pointed at little specks moving on the horizon. Are those birds? Those are ships, Michael said, taking soldiers across the sea to war. I shook my head. Those couldn't be ships. My daddy went on a big ship. Those specks are no bigger than my thumb. They looked small like her thumb because they were so far away. Michael smiled down at me and dropped my hand. I'll tell you a secret of the world, the kind you'll know when you're older. They only look small because they're far away. Stay right here and watch." He ran down the beach, leaving a trail of wet footprints. When he was far away, he called, "Am I small now, Janie?" I nodded because he was. "No bigger than my hand." He ran farther down along the beach. "Am I smaller now, Janie?" Janie. He was the size of my little nail. Come back, I cried. Suddenly afraid he'd disappear forever like the ships gone from the horizon, dropped over the edge of the world, where no policeman could ever find him. After we threaded our way home through the whispering sycamores, the grown-ups knew we'd been busy in the bay. We had black, greasy rings around our ankles, and my sunsuit was spotted and damp. Michael got a spanking because he was older. All I got was a long soaking in Grandma's lion paw tub. I sat there till the water was cold and I was covered with goosebumps. We both got a story at bedtime. Once upon a time, it began. Happily ever after, it ended. My cousin Michael was 7, and I was 6, and my baby brother Stevie just started to talk when my father came home from the war. There were no big ships or waving flags, just a stranger in brown with his arm in a sling, unfolding himself from a cab. Their dad was gone a long time. I'm sure they missed him. Everyone cried except Mama. When Daddy tried to kiss her, Stevie yelled, "Go away, you bad man. Don't touch my Mama." He didn't know that that was his daddy. So Daddy stopped kissing her and picked me up instead, in his good arm. "You're so big, Janie," he said. "Lots bigger than I remembered." His eyes were blue, the color of the sky above us, and there were sharp creases at their edges. Throwing my arms around him, I spoke Michael's secret in his ear. "That's because you were so far away, Daddy. When you are far away, everything is smaller. And now you're here, and I am big." "Of course," he said. "I knew that." He gave me 100 butterfly kisses. He whirled me around and around under the whispering sycamores until neither of us could tell big from little, young from old, short from long, peace from war, all those secrets of the world. That was All the Secrets of the World by Jane Yolen.